Hi, so in this video, I'm going to be auditing total training, and I'm going to be running a manual audit basically, and I'm also running some automated tools. I'm just trying to crawl the entire site, and then I'll go through various audits. I'll do an on-page audit, of course, which is what I'm going to start with. I'm going to do a little bit of competition research. I may do some keyword research, and then I'll also do a backlink audit using Ahrefs and other tools like that. And then we also do a very brief social audit. And if I have access to Search Console, I'll follow up with a quick check to make sure, because I did see the site uh, from some SEM Rush data. I noticed that there were sudden drops in rankings, and you did lose a lot of traffic and organic listings, I think in 2015, if I'm not mistaken. But we get to that. So I'm definitely trying to understand what kind of penalty you got, whether it was action versus site or action versus links, because each of them have to be treated separately depending on what kind of penalty you got. And uh, once I'm done with my audit, I'll try and make a plan based on the data I find, on what we need to fix, and then how the one time basically setup and then the ongoing SEO. I'm taking, since this is an e-commerce site, there will be a fair amount of setup required, and we need to get that right now, because Google is looking at on page like they've never done before, because they have all kinds of analytics. They have all kinds of user experience data that they're tracking, bounce backs, and termination of search intent, things like that, which if you're not doing, your site is going to gradually get demoted, and others are going to gain rankings from you. So we need to make sure you're rock solid as far as your on-page goes and your user experience goes, and then of course we can look at the backlinks and socials and things like that, which also play a very important part, but not as important as getting the on-site right, because they're using RankBrain and they have access to a lot of data, user data, by tracking user behavior using Chrome, and they're on desktop as well as mobile. So they pretty much know like what how users behave on each site. And even if we do the backlinks and we do the other stuff that gets you rankings, you're going to suffer from, I mean, you will go through a Google dance, which is happening a lot right now for a lot of sites and new pages that want to rank, because Google will throw you up on top, and they'll see if you're getting the clicks and you're fulfilling the user intent or not. And then if you're not doing that, you'll just rank for a brief period, uh, and once they test your site, they'll drop you down, because if the others are going to do better than you, they'll definitely push the other sites up. So I'm not saying you can't rank up. You will for a brief period, but then you get pushed back down if you're not fulfilling, uh, if you're not as if you're not performing as well or better than your competitors. And okay, so let's get started with the actual groundwork now. Okay, so I'm going to go through like things like one by one, and of course there will be a systematic report that I have attached also to this video, so you can look at that and see what my recommendations are and what my analysis is. Um, um, so getting started, looking at the home page, it just looks like you have, firstly, your H1 tags look to be completely out of sync, and you've got like 11 H1 tags, which I felt was over excessive. You do have some H2s, and I think we need to fix that for sure. I would not go with that many H1 tags. So we just need to avoid that. And then your site title is, it's okay, but there was a problem, I think, with the description. Let me just take a look at that. Okay, sorry, I think the description for the homepage was proper. There was no problem, and it looked like there was some thought gone into it, and the H1s also looked okay. But what issues I had with the homepage were also maybe a little too thin in content. Maybe you could increase this a little bit, but that would be if you want to rank for the homepage. So we can get into that later. But what was alarming was your subpages. Let's look at this one first. Firstly, your title tag was just way too brief, and your meta descriptions were completely missing, and your title tag was just too brief and not descriptive enough. So you need to work on that. We need to actually have the keywords. I understand this is a category page, but still we need to work on it. And even like there's no content, it's too thin. I know it's an e-commerce site, but we still need to work on that. We need to get some content in here. Either you have the description showing up here, or you have some content within the page. I'm not sure if you want to rank this particular category, but even if you don't, I would suggest, because your site is large, you have a lot of categories and stuff like that. So we just need to make sure that we fix things in from the on-page perspective. And talking about the descriptions, here's what we have. You have so your description tag is completely missing. You did have a title tag, but again, the title tag, so you're missing H1s and H2s also, so that's another big thing. You need to have that in there. And let me just get to your title tag. So here's the title tag right here, access dash total training. So that definitely is not the best of titles. So we need to fix that. And just like I want to tell you that since this is an e-commerce site, you need to really get every aspect of your on page and your technical on page right, because that's going to help you rank. And the backlinks and the socials and everything is just not even like 20% of the game here. So let's get all this right, and you will see your ranks jumping up. This title is just too short. We probably need something like learn access online, and then put the year 2016 or 2017, whatever you want to put, just to make it look fresh. And definitely have a description. You don't have any description. So that was your category problems. And if you went into any product, the issues were again similar. Your title tag was just too brief, not descriptive enough. Your description was not hard-coded into the page, which is again
features of Adobe Premiere Pro Creative Cloud, designed to streamline your
for some
editing
reason
experience.
I
You'll learn
didn't
how
see
to apply
this.
master clip effects,
It's picking it up naturally. It's picking it up from your short
unlock
description.
the power of Typekit,
Probably because of Yoast and the way it's
and
configured.
enhance your editing experience through new features such as
you-
manually syncing offsets,
Because this is what's going to show up
setting
in
frame
the
sizes,
Google SERPs.
and adding
So,
marker names.
I would generally
These new
try and
features are
customize
designed
this
to make you an
to
efficient
get a higher click-through
and
rate.
savvy
So I
editor.
definitely end with a call to action saying click now to get to access at 90% discount, or get 90% off, things like that. And then you want to ignore the 2014 year, then we can just delete that, which is why I recommend you go in there manually and you try and fix your description using Yoast. And incidentally, I'm not sure if you're using the standard Yoast, the premium version, or if they also have an e-commerce module, so you may want to use that if you're not using it. I've not seen the back end of your site, so I can't really comment on that. And then the other issue is that your content was way too thin. This is not going to do much over here. You're not going to be able to compete with this content. Just 4 lines. I understand it's a short course, but I did see recurring issues with even the longer courses, which had a healthy curriculum. Again, see, this curriculum maybe are too short, which is why you need to balance it off and you need to offset it with better descriptions. Even a better description over here would do if you don't want to put it in your short description because Google is reading all that. I understand you're embedding a video, that's fine, there's no problem with that, but you need to definitely have a lot more content on these pages. Otherwise, they're too thin. I mean, I'm crawling it with Screaming Frog separately, but it's not a healthy sign to have a site with, you know, how many pages do you have? 8,000 currently. I'm at 8,000, 8,600 plus. Oh, 33,000. Okay, so Screaming Frog is crawling the site, and so far, yeah, and that number is still increasing. So I don't really know, but we are looking at more than 33,000 pages, uh, which is a hell of a lot. And so we definitely need to make sure our site is as thick as possible. And if you have thin pages, that's okay. There's no problem in having thin pages, but we may just want to no index them as part of a strategy if they're not providing value, or better, we can just exclude Google from crawling those pages. And I didn't see that. Yeah, so I'll just jump up ahead to a robots.txt that I found. You're not excluding any tags at all. So all these tags that you built here are all giving you duplicate pages, which is why I think there are 33,000 pages on your site. You definitely don't want this page. You don't want this. You don't want Google seeing these pages that are tags. The categories, okay, I can understand, but not the tags. That's causing your this is causing an issue. Not having it there, is not a problem, but I think you've not, if I'm not mistaken, um, you've not no indexed this tab, because I didn't see it in the robots exclusion. But we can definitely just have a quick look over here and see if that page is showing up. Let's see. Let's just Google that page and see. Yeah, so Google sees this page, and you definitely they've indexed it, and that's, yeah, so 51,000. My god, have we got this right? This is gonna be bad. Still bad. No, so I run some queries here. We actually want to get the right number here. So I'll just use that, and we'll just put plus. One second. I'm running these weird queries, so they're gonna think I'm a bot, and that's why they're gonna check on me. In URL. Okay, let me just pause this video and come back. Yeah, so it looks like there are about 112 pages that have the tag that are tagged, and these pages definitely need to be removed, and they've been indexed by Google. So these pages are showing up, I guess, as too thin and with duplicate content. So this is one issue we need to address for sure. Okay, and then there's also, of course, on the product pages, the reviews are missing. I would suggest we put in some fake reviews. We'll have to definitely add a schema tag in schema plugin to make sure that we have schematic data and it shows up with your ratings and things like that. And just Google just likes that right now. So that's one thing we definitely need to do, since it's an e-commerce site also. Don't think you've done it currently. Again, in this page where you're trying to talk about solutions for corporates, you have the site is suffering again, I think, from the... I'm not sure why I marked an H1 issue. Probably because you had multiple H1s. Let's look at this. Yeah, probably because your H2s are fine, but your H1s may be excessive. And I would definitely... I'm guessing things like this. This is an H1 tag, and it doesn't really need to be an H1 tag. So, okay, that's an H2. So we can now definitely look at it in more detail and see like if the H1s are justified and they are related. And again, we look at all the H2, H3s, and H4s also. And if you don't have them, we'll have to somehow build them in. And they'll have to have your LSI keywords. H4 is very important right now. This particular page does not, I'm taking it, does not have too many original pages, original images in it. Another thing I found was, I'm not sure why this happened, but I searched for one of your images to check if they were unique, and what you probably need to do is understand why. So right here, I'm taking it this is one of your PBN sites. I'm not too sure, but this site showed up above yours for an image on your site, which doesn't speak too much about your site, because why would this other site show up? So I'm not sure why this site showed up, but I did click through and so it was sort of like a one-page site. I'm guessing it's your own PBN, or you sort of built the links on this site. But even if it's your own PBN, I mean, it's just not built properly. I don't know what this is. There's just too many H1s here for sure, and it's not titled properly. I mean, and it's just too thin. So I was pretty surprised to see this site ranking up on top. And if they scrape the content from your site and they're showing up higher than your site, then okay. So let's check if your site is actually in a penalty, because this makes me sort of guess that your site may be in some sort of action versus links penalty, not the action versus site penalty. And to do that, we'll let's go back to your site and let's see what's happening here. I'm going to try something. Just take this content.
Adobe Audition Creative Cloud allows you to create.
So I'm just going to check for content that was on your site, what shows up.
We'll also take a look at some of the basic editing tools.
So we are
like
fine.
Trimming audio tracks and
so there's no
fades.
sort of manual penalty on it, and they will just do another check. It's just the way I check things. Yeah, so it looks okay. Looks okay to me. And even if I did take a title tag off here, see what's the homepage. I don't think there's like a manual penalty on the site, and I'm not sure what other penalties it's facing, but it definitely. Okay, so what just happened here? Okay, so that's fine. I don't think there's any problem as such with the site as far as the penalty goes. As far as I think yeah, I think we're all clear, but I still don't understand why you got a sudden drop in your organic traffic, which is what I saw in SEM Rush. So I would like to sort of look at this and see what happened here, because it's doing beautifully well, and then 2012, that's I guess when Penguin came along, Penguin 1, and then 2.1 was around October. Here we go. This is a 2.1 Penguin hit, and Feb 14th again, probably another Penguin or some update. I'm not sure which one. We'll have to check that to understand exactly what happened, because we need to know why this has happened. If you understand why this happened, which algorithms you got hit by, then we can recover the site. Otherwise, if we don't analyze that, there's no way we're going to recover. And I'll also look at your Ahrefs and your Ahrefs data just to understand what kind of links you have coming into the site and what's been happening. Another thing was your blog posts are not linking contextually to your site, so you're not really passing down much juice to the actual course. So like this one, you're talking about this particular product. And okay, one second, did you link to it? Okay, you did link to it. So probably I saw this one right here, which goes to the main site, which is fine. Oops, but here's, okay, so there is a 404 error here. So it's probably a linking issue, URL structure issue. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure what the deal is there with that. So yeah, so we'll catch all the 404 errors, and I am running Screaming Frog in the background, so we'll catch all this 404, or we can get into your search console and just fix that. Your robots.txt needs to have exclusions, like I said before. I'm not sure if you have Yoast for WooCommerce installed. Your schema is missing. Your address is missing from your About Us page. I didn't see any Google Maps also there. I'm not sure if you have all that. You'll need to definitely put that in to just verify that you're a real business. And maybe, I'm not sure if you have a Google My Business, a GMV verified account. You'll have to definitely get that. Your social channels, your YouTube, basically all your social channels need to interlink with one another, and we'll set up a system to drip content. When you post on one, you can post it on all the others simultaneously or after X amount of time. And then your YouTube channel was definitely outdated. You don't have much happening here, and you are a video site. So you need to have a lot more videos. And we'll set up a system to automate the video uploads. I can do that. That's not an issue. And just tag them and have the descriptions and everything come in. And I definitely would like you to interlink all your social accounts and sync them up with one another. So you need to interlink them, and we'll need to definitely sort of start dripping content and things like this. And put in your Twitter also in here, put in your other channels, your Facebook page and everything. In each account, it should have data from data representing your other social channels also. Okay, so let's let me see what other issues there are over here. So like all the other metrics are pretty good, like your trust flow is high and things like that. So the links are coming from topically relevant places and entities. So you're fine with that. There's definitely issues with some of the tags, and we have a page speed test. I just want to look at this one. What would really is happening here? So yeah, so there's like some stuff you need to probably fix in here. With your mobile, there's some issues here. We can just look at the JavaScript issues. I think you can also contact the guy who is managing the CMS, and just attend to those, because that's not a healthy sign right there. And this could of course be better, so we can just like figure out. I think there may be some heavy duty images. I'm not sure what's happening here, but we can look at it. It looks like a image issue, mostly non-optimized images, but we can always look at that. Okay, so this is the SEMrush data. what we can do is we can see the, I mean, if you want quick faster results, what we can look at is we can look at some of your rankings which are there on the first couple of pages or the first page, and we can bump them up based on, we can look at the keyword search volume, and then we can target those keywords and try and push them up, because that will get you faster results. And if you're on page 1 for non-branded searches like this one and non-branded ones like stuff like this, you're just teetering on page 2. Here we are, page 1. Adobe Bridge looks like a good one. And what we'll do is these pages, this URL that's showing up for many keywords, we can target that. So the reason is because of multiple things, like if you're ranking on the first page, like somewhere around 7, 8, by just optimizing the on page and doing some SEO magic, we can probably rank number 1, and even like in the suggest in the knowledge graph area. So we can definitely get you up there by doing some tweaks. And I'm just going to try and sort by URL, which is right there. Let's just see what's happening here. There's a lot of data, so we could have easily filtered stuff. What we can do is we can look at stuff like this and see if it justifies if this page is ranking for a lot of keywords. We can justify doing SEO just targeted to that, because if it's already ranking at a decent spot, we can see where it's ranking. In this case, it's not. It's okay. Let's hit all the ones that are on page 1 or page 2, and we'll definitely, so that will help us understand which pages to go after for better results and faster results. So I just selected the URL field and I'm running a filter of Adobe just to give an example. And yeah, so these, since you did also mention at one point of time, I think I'm not too sure whether Adobe was a good target page. So this particular page is ranking for a lot of stuff, so we can really go after that. And then we have this one, course, and then we have multiple Adobe courses. And let's just so you get the gist of what I'm trying to do over here. I'm just trying to push up stuff. Like this one is ranking on page 1 for a lot of stuff, so I would definitely hit this justify and just sort of hit this course or this URL first, and so we can identify a bunch of them and go after them, because it's such a large site you don't know where to start. And you don't want to get perplexed by that with so many products. And so we'll do the sniper approach and we'll go after the low-hanging fruits initially, or the stuff that's already ranking, and then we can go after other keywords also which are easier. So as you can see, I just opened up Ahrefs and I'm just going to analyze what kind of backlinks you have. Okay, firstly, there seem to be some good authoritative backlinks from some of the older pages, and I can understand why you're ranking for the Photoshop and the Adobe keywords, right, from just taking a glance at the more authoritative backlinks. And then you got a hell of a lot of backlinks to inspect, so I'll have to really go into detail, but definitely just trying to look at what kind of historical link velocity you have. And we'll okay, so let's just jump straight to, while the page, sorry about that, it's loading. You just got to wait for a second here. So just looking at it, so there has definitely been a decline in the number of new domains or backlinks that you're getting. So that's fine. I mean, no, I'm sure. What I did like about it is that your keywords seem to be pretty good and solid and organic here. So there's no sort of penguin over optimization. I looked at the backlinks already, so I mean I'll have to look at these in detail to understand which are the toxic ones, and then if we need to prune any, then we'll prune. And basically, we need to find out what penalty you have. What we should also look at is your organic keywords, and specifically, since this data is available from SEMrush also, we can look at the movements to see what's been happening of late. So over here you can see your position is dropping for a lot of the keywords. There has been some sort of decline happening. You're losing rankings also. These are the latest ones only, and you can see stuff is like not too good. Just looks like something is coming into effect here, and you've been losing stuff. So yeah, so this it's giving you 557 days, so we can actually go back and see what's happening on each of these days and what kind of movements we're seeing here. So definitely, I do see a lot of. I see mostly. I just see a few gains. There are some few gains in the green, but I see plenty of losses also, and so we can like look at this data also, and which will help us understand if you're doing any current SEO on the site. Um, and we'll definitely also have to set up a rank tracker to get live data on all the keywords that you are targeting and that you're already ranking for, so we understand what's happening exactly when you do this project. Top pages is a good thing to look at because this will tell you exactly what your best and your strongest pages are ranking are. So here we go. So here's the amount of traffic and the number of keywords that each of these pages are ranking for, which is, I think this is just a fantastic look, and like we'll be able to definitely understand what pages we should go after, because we could go after the stronger ones which have a larger number of keywords, and we can just sort of focus on those. And I do see some blog pages also ranking here, which is a good sign because that just tells us that your blog is having some juice in it also. So then if you don't have any links pointing to the original products from here, we can do that, or others we can just build more links out to the blogs themselves. So that's a good sign. And so that's just a quick overview and an Ahrefs analysis, and there's of course a lot more that goes into an audit, and I would cover that in detail and really go into the technical nitty-gritties and make a entire report in a spreadsheet which tells you what to fix and how to go about doing things.